Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I want to go ahead and just do a New Year's resolution video. Just go ahead and talk about everything I'm looking forward to in the next coming up year. And then I wanted to also go ahead and just reflect on everything from the past year. If you are curious what I am wearing on my face today, mainly just my eyes and my fun lips. I did play, I know this is a super old palette, but with the Hocus Pocus Gather Around Sisters a palette, whoa. But anyways, let's roll into the video. And I do have everything written down on my phone, so I'll just be kind of looking at my phone as we are going. So we'll just start with my reflections from the past year. So something that's been really important to me is kind of getting to financial freedom in a way, financial freedom kind of situation. So I know it's nothing really in the beauty community or anything that anybody really talks about, but I know that there is that part, and especially with the pandemic and everything going on, I think a lot more of us are like, at least for me, thinking of kind of more just like towards the future. And I think even for myself, probably just in my generation, really wanting to have this almost freedom of not feeling so tied down to everything, tied down to bills, and wanting to have the freedom to try new and different things. Kind of going along with that. So at my current job, I used to basically be a leader, manager, or whatever you want to call it. I did take a step down from that position, which is something I do feel like in our society it's not talked about and it's almost looked down upon. I think when people find out that I used to be a leader and I'm no longer a leader, they're like, oh, why would you do that? Because it's something absolutely crazy. Like, I know it's something that I'm sure my parents think I'm crazy for, all that stuff, but I think I did it more for my mental health. And when I think of it in the truer sense, obviously it made it as well so I could do this. This is a dream, this is a goal that I wanted to do for so many years, and it really has opened up that opportunity that I'm able to do things like this. So I do not regret it. It's still, of course, I really struggle with it because, again, I was making more money and things like that, but it is what is the best for me. And then, let's see, last one, which is kind of, it is a big thing for like the general like rest of the world, but it's kind of, I don't know, whatever. Really been trying to switch to some more environmentally friendly things. Obviously makeup and all of that is not the most environmentally friendly in the world, but I think just doing, my best, do my little part. So, switching laundry detergent, switching my deodorant, like simple small things like that, I'm happy that I've been doing and all of that stuff. But yeah, that is pretty much it for my reflections. So let's jump on into what are going to be my goals for this coming up year. Okay, so let's start off with the first one, which is going to be YouTube related. So at first I had put my goal was to be at 1,000 subscribers by this point next year, and obviously that would be amazing, and I would like that so I could actually get to a point where this could maybe somewhat become a job. But I think my biggest goal for myself is to actually be uploading more consistently. I've been trying this for so many years and I've been making videos for so many years, but I make, one or two videos and then I stop, or I make like 6 videos and then I stop, and I kind of don't give it as much of a chance as I'd want to do. Next, this one's going to be a little more, I don't know if I'd say darker. I guess it is. It kind of is in a way with a lot of normal people or a lot of people in our society, but it would be to be a bit healthier. I did recently lose, middle to last year, or not last year, but this current year we're in, I did lose a close family member of mine at I consider young age, 59. I'm currently 32. And so having that happen kind of, and I mean, I would say that person was decently healthy. I don't know. But I think that I just, would like to be healthy, not even just with eating, honestly. I mean, I think eating is, yes, important and all of that stuff, but I think just mentally as well. And, and that's where I think with my job and everything, just really making sure that I'm trying to not have such a stressful life. And, and that's where, again, I think it's with money and all of that, really working towards not having my whole life just be focused on money and having it where basically I can live as frugally as I possibly can. I'm not being like such to a level, but I think it's, if there are certain things that I do not need to buy, then I'm just not buying them, and it just is making me a lot happier. Next one, which is an interesting one that I've never really talked on my channel. It is like on my Instagram and all of that, but it's not something I've ever really talked about. I wanted to, but it's especially for myself. I'm not very good at like, I don't know, bringing attention on myself, I guess, in a way for certain stuff. But I myself am transgender, which feels weird to say, but I have been on hormones at one point before. Kind of something happened, and basically I just kind of stopped. I kind of went back and forth, was, doubting if I felt that I truly was. I do honestly feel that I truly am transgender, and so a big goal for me would be to get back onto hormones. It really has just, again, become something that I've just put off and put off and put off. And I know that I need to actually care about myself, and that is something that I should do. You want to feel more like yourself. That's what I would say. I want to feel more like my true self. And when I look in the mirror at times, I do, like right now, see myself in the camera, I do see myself. But there are certain things where it's obviously, if I had a bit more feminine of a look or whatever, it would make me feel better. Because I do know that in our normal society, even though I have all the makeup and all of that, a lot of people, just their automatic thing about me is man. You know what I mean? And when it happens, it's like I try not to be crazy and be like, but it makes you feel sad inside. You know what I mean? In a way, it's when people, misgender you, and sometimes people do it on purpose. You just almost feel like you feel so small, and then you're also just like, why are you attacking me? Like, why can't you just, for the people who are doing it on purpose, why can't you just, like, I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, sorry, random tangent with that. But getting back to what kind of my other goals for myself. So I kind of already talked about it, which is putting myself first. That's a big one. Just really making sure to I wrote, don't allow distractions to get in the way. And so it's not even necessarily that, but I think it's taking a break if I need to, is what I'm saying. What I feel is taking a break when I need to, but not like taking too long of a break. So I think even as well as what's difficult for me is when I see certain people who have a career, let's say in YouTube or whatever it may be, and they kind of are just like, you need to work so hard at it. So, oh, you work an 8-hour shift? Well, then you have 4 hours after work that you should be able to invest all of your time and energy into this. And for the people who do that and it works for them, like, that's incredible. I love that. That is unfortunately not me. I like to have my free time. I want to be able to watch TV and movies and all of that other stuff. And so I think it's something that allowing myself to still have that time off, but also making sure that I'm still getting my goals done. Next ones are kind of a little bit more lighter, happier, I guess, ones. Biggest one for me would be to continue my education in makeup. I think that I really want to hopefully get some makeup books secondhand, things like that. I've really been working on recreating makeup looks that I see on Instagram or whatever, just to really work on my skill. I feel like I've stayed kind of in a box. And I think what's difficult is when you're a creative type, I do feel like it's almost an expectation, or maybe you just have it of yourself. I know I do. That like, I should just be creative. I should just be able to create any makeup look and it look incredible or whatever. And when you can't create makeup looks, you know what I mean? Like obviously like there's certain looks that, and you'll notice even on my channel that I do often. I do kind of all the time because they're what I'm comfortable with. And at one hand, I love that, but at another hand, I want to, expand upon that, even just for myself. You know what I mean? I want to be better, and I do want to, when I do see certain people like on Instagram or whatever, and they are, oh, this was me last year, this is me 2 years ago. Though I have seen my makeup develop and get better, I find myself feeling like, oh, I'm stuck in a rut with this, or like, I feel like this isn't as good as, you know what I mean? Like, I want my blending to be cleaner or whatever. And I really just feel like by honestly practicing and watching what other people do and learning from other people, which is honestly how we all learn, that's what's going to get me there versus me just being like, I'm just going to see what happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you do learn in that way, but I think as well you can definitely learn from other people. Another thing I really want to do is experiment more with my fashion and clothing. So I basically kind of had mentioned it before about wanting to be a bit healthier, eat better, and all that stuff. But I do think that one thing that I struggle with is being a larger person is experimenting with clothing and all that stuff. I find that like with my makeup has kind of always been my experimentation. And though I do like wearing black and all that stuff, I do really want to venture out and try different things and, you know, I don't know, just kind of feel more confident. Because I feel like when you're trying different clothing and all that stuff and you just feel good, you feel good. And who doesn't want to feel good? And so I think for myself, you know, again, basically the past 3 years, I would say, I feel like I was very focused on just work, 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 which is basically the amount of time that I was a leader, a little bit more than that. But just work, 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 you know, so I basically had work clothes and then I had like sweatpants and that was it. And so kind of, if I wanted to do anything else between that, I kind of had to figure out like, okay, so this is the little bit that I have versus I want to have like, okay, so I have a life outside of work, you know what I mean? Or just chilling out at home wearing sweatpants, which I love to do. I'm not going to say that I don't, but I think it's, if I want to go out to the grocery store, even which sounds silly, but like, I want to be able to, you know, if I want to wear something fun and different, I have that. Continuing along with being more environmentally friendly, so things I really want to work on is, of course, I had mentioned it before, which would be like shopping secondhand. Another one is not really environmentally friendly, but I think it's buying from smaller creators, buying more indie, just because, of course, it just feels the best to me. So I think it's trying to not just shop at where it's convenient to me and where it's like right there, and actually like branch out of that and support smaller businesses and everything like that. And I think that, I mean, I guess we'll throw on one last one that I written down, but I'm like, man, is so, and it's a tricky one. It is a really tricky one, and I don't really think that there's a right way to do it, but I think for myself, a lot of times I will feel very negative, and I do think that obviously because my life is not, you know, right where I want it to be and all of that stuff, I just feel negative. And of course, you know, I work in a job that is retail, so people, you know, are annoying, you know what I mean, at times. Not everybody, but I think a lot of people are annoying, a lot of people are rude, pushy, selfish, whatever. And especially with this year, with the pandemic and everything, it's just been a lot, you know what I mean? A lot of people are a lot. And you kind of just, you know, you're just like, can I just have like a chill moment, please? That'd be great. But I think that it's, you know, I do see people around me who they're able to somehow still remain somewhat positive and kind of create a distance between work, you know what I mean? And so I think it's trying to be a bit more positive, you know, is what I would say in a way, or kind of it's like a mixture of don't judge myself so harshly and also trying to be positive about it though, if that makes sense. So, like, not being so negative, trying to be like, whatever, that person was rude and move on versus holding on to it and then almost getting angry. You know what I mean? It's just not beneficial. That is pretty much it. I feel like this video feels super bizarre and all of that stuff, but if you have any New Year's resolutions, all that stuff, I would really like it if you would leave that in the comment box below or wherever, Instagram, anywhere you want to leave that for me. I would really appreciate it if you like to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, whatever. Check out my Instagram, it should be in the description below. I'm just really happy that you are here, and I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Alright, I will see you all on my next video. Bye!